What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Black Panther 2. I know we've done quite a few videos about Black Panther over the last couple of months, ranging from T'Challa himself, Chadwick Boseman, being out of the role of the Wakandian prince, the Wakandian champion, the Wakandian king. That obviously wasn't true. He was obviously losing a bunch of weight for a different role. So we've got an outlandish rumor, but it's not actually a rumor. It's coming from a British website, a British company. And I always weigh up the stories and weigh up where they're coming from. And to be honest, is this any more viable than any other Hollywood insider? No, not really. It's on the same wavelength. So, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. At the 100,000 subscriber mark, I will be giving away something so special that you're going to want to subscribe. So make sure you subscribe. Tell all your friends about how cool I am. So let's get into this. So I can't believe I'm making a video on this. So Beyonce is rumored to be in talks with Disney to work on 3 films for $100 million. Now this is Beyonce. You know, it's Beyonce. So who could she play in Black Panther 2? But Warstu, haven't you been saying Rihanna is going to be playing Storm for the longest time possible? Well, yeah, I have been saying that, and that could still happen. But Beyonce is an even bigger. Is she a bigger star? Nah, she's probably on the same wavelength. Beyonce is huge. So the source of this website is Ellie.com. Beyonce's work with Disney may have only begun with her voicing in a live-action movie version of The Lion King last year. The Sun is reporting that Beyonce allegedly is in talks with House of the Mouse, aka Disney, to sign a $100 million contract to work on 3 major projects. One of the films would be Black Panther 2, The Sun. The Sun is a newspaper that's... It is what it is. It's not the most credible website or news publication, but they do get some stories right. Just like any insider that we've used on this channel. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but it's an interesting and controversial subject in the sense that no one would ever expect Beyonce to appear in Black Panther 2, but no one would ever expect Warstu to appear in it either. So, one of the films would be Black Panther 2, The Sun claims Beyonce would be a part of the film soundtrack. A source said the following: Beyonce has become a major player for Disney and is the perfect fit for their brand. It's added that as a part of the deal, they are trying to get her to agree to have Beyonce voicing some new documentary coming to Disney Plus after the success of her voicing in The Elephant of the Platform. After the success of Megan voicing the elephant on the platform. They have projects coming up which would align perfect with Beyonce's brand. The negotiations are still ongoing, but the final details that are being thrashed out now. Beyonce has most recently graced Disney with her performance and presence on ABC Disney Family Sing-Along special in April. During this special, meant to honor those on the front line during, we can't say that, B shared a message to the families before singing When You Wish Upon a Star. So, it's interesting. So, there's also some, you know, the inside websites reporting this. We've got MCU Cosmic here reporting this story. It says you're going to see a lot of sites reporting this rumor. Beyonce is in talks for Black Panther 2, but when you trace the story back to the original source, it loses most credibility. Now, this is interesting because it's one website bashing a huge newspaper here in the UK. The Sun is pretty darn big. The story most people are linking is to the website called Ellie, which normally would be a legitimate outlet for such news. But when you actually look at it, the Ellie story, which claims Beyonce is in talks for a massive $100 million deal with Disney for 3 years, including a Black Panther sequel, you'll see the site in is The Sun. For those unaware, The Sun is a British tabloid with a notorious habit of making up sensational celebrity gossip stories like this. I know it's a slow time for news and people are desperate for something to post, but at least try to figure out where the story is coming from. If Beyonce really was in talks for the $100 million deal with okay, I can see where this website's coming from, but my problem with this is you've got to go back to release the Snyder Cut, your boy Warstu telling you that was coming, but no one was saying that. Deadline, Heroic Hollywood, Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, just like he said. I do agree with his critique there, that if this story was credible and if Beyonce was going to play Storm or have a pinnacle role in Black Panther 2 or something like that, that other trades would be reporting that. But the Warstu in me kind of is like, but they were all wrong. They all said Snyder Cut was never, ever coming. They all said Henry Cavill was out. He was out, but then a few weeks later, he's back in. But then the same website starts reporting he's out again. So do you get my point? A source is a source. Until the story is confirmed or verified, it doesn't really mean much. But the reason I'm reporting this, because like I said, guys, I like to report interesting stories. And I find this very interesting. Is it too far-fetched for Beyonce, someone as powerful as she is in Hollywood, to get a role in Black Panther 2? No, it's the same thing when I say that The Rock could play literally anyone in the MCU. If Kevin Feige spoke to The Rock or someone like Beyonce and he or she was like, yo, I want to play Storm, or The Rock's like, I want to play Namor, I want to play Hercules, Kevin Feige will be like, okay, how much money do you want? It's happening. So I believe this story could be viable. It's no more ludicrous or no more outlandish than all the other rumor websites suggesting stuff about, you know, what's going on with Batwoman. And the story of Batwoman is interesting because the creators of the show have come out and said the story was wrong when clearly there was an audition tape that leaked. So what I'm trying to get at, guys, is you don't really know what to think until it's confirmed or verified. But it is an interesting story. It is. So, is Beyonce gonna be a pinnacle part in Black Panther 2? We don't know, but she sure could be. Then again, she might not be. So what I'm trying to say is Beyonce could be in it. She could be playing Storm. She could be playing anyone. She could be playing a new love interest of T'Challa. She could be the villain of Black Panther 2. Beyonce could literally play anyone in the role if she wanted to. The same foot that Rihanna could play anyone if she wanted to, so to speak. It's the case of the MCU is kind of a company that likes to stay relevant. That's why, if you notice, like the science and technology scenes in any MCU movies, they are so wrong. They're not real. They don't use real science. They dumb everything down to generalize everything. And as we know, MCU movies are aimed at the general audience. How good and how much traffic would Beyonce appearing in Black Panther 2, or even just voicing an actor in Black Panther 2, or even doing the music for Black Panther 2, would it draw people in? Beyonce's got a huge following. Beyonce fans would run to watch this movie if she was in it. So it is very interesting. So soon as we are on the topic of Black Panther 2, let's talk about some other recent rumors about what is going down with Black Panther 2 and other MCU properties. So, my good old friend Roger Wardell, I believe that's how you say his surname, a biggest insider. He was right about a lot of things in Infinity War, a lot of things in EndGame. She's got the best track record, has just said something on June the 7th about The Rock. You know, The Rock, who Warstu said was going to appear in the MCU. Is he going to be Namor? I don't know, but he tweeted this. Now, I will leave the link down below in the description box so you can find it. The Rock's Marvel role is just another Vin Diesel situation, trying to build hype to get a meeting with Marvel. Okay, but if he's saying it's a Vin Diesel situation, did Vin Diesel not get a Rock role in the MCU? No, he did. So that kind of unofficially confirmed what is going on with The Rock. And then he also said this: the Fantastic Four rumor that's going around is totally false. They have enough on their plate already. So any other creators, anyone else talking about the Fantastic Four, your boy Roger has shut them down and said, no, it's not happening. Too much on their plate. I think what's happening is they want to introduce the X-Men first before the Fantastic Four, but I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know. This is not even my words. And also, he has brought up an actor that he brought up before. So let's go over exactly who this actor is. So, Marvel Studios apparently is a big fan of David Morrissey, and are considering him for multiple roles for Phase 4, which is interesting because there isn't really any Phase 4 movies actually shooting at the moment. So what is he known for? He was in The Walking Dead. Interesting. Basic Instincts 2. Interesting. Sense and Sensibility. Interesting. He was also in Thorn, Sleepyhead. To be honest, guys, I don't really know that much about him. He is English. He's 55 from Kensington, Liverpool. Interesting. So he's 55. So I presume this will not be a long-term role in the MCU. I think he was rumored to be Norman Osborn at one point in time. He's also been in Britannia, The Missing, National Theatre Live, a bunch of The Walking Dead, like we said previously, The Driver. Yeah, so he's done a lot of TV and some movies, so that is pretty interesting. So that is some pretty interesting facts that Roger's dropped on everyone. So that is pretty cool. I think Roger is one of the more reliable people. Like I said, guys, he was right about a lot of things when it comes to the MCU. Also, he said this: there are no plans to add Deadpool in any MCU Spider-Man 3, but Sony is desperately wants Tom Hardy's Venom in the movie. Deadpool had his own movies, but never shown up in the main X-Men films. It will be the same for the MCU. Very, very interesting. It is interesting what he says. So I will leave the link down below, guys, so you can look exactly what Roger himself has said. Like I said, guys, he's probably the most credible insider in terms of getting information right. If you compare him to the other ones, which is kind of interesting. But then at the same time, things he said before haven't exactly panned out exactly the way that was written, so to speak. So yeah, he's got two accounts. He's got one account and then he's got another account. Not really sure why he's got two accounts, but he is quite a credible source. At least I think he's pretty credible when it comes to getting information right. He also said stuff about Rocket's creator is the High Evolutionary. Drax is in for a big surprise when he discovers his daughter is alive. Rocket also gets a love interest in the form of Lila. Nebula and Star-Lord will grow into closer friends. So yeah, these things are pretty interesting, but they're dating back from 2019. So it is pretty interesting what good old Roger had to say. And more recently, he had to say some very interesting things about Wolverine. And then he linked it to Shuri making the nanotech suit. Okay, obviously his claws, vibranium, Antarctic vibranium. So yeah, that's a hint that Wolverine, X-Men could appear in Black Panther 2 because Shuri's there. So it's looking like the future is pretty bright. Whilst recording this, I've realised the tweets we just went over were actually they're actually a little bit old. So apologies for that. Whilst we're in post-production here editing, but he did go on to say that yeah, obviously the Fantastic Four plans going forward are true, but obviously what we were on about before was recorded beforehand, so they were referring. Just go look at both the Twitter accounts and it will make sense to you. So like always, guys, let me know everything you think down below. It would be very interesting for you guys to let me know what you think. Is Wolverine Black Panther going to appear in the same movie? It's looking likely. Is Beyonce going to be Storm? I don't know, but she could have a pinnacle role. Is Rihanna going to appear in this movie? And like always, guys, we are streaming tonight. You will see the schedule if you subscribe to the channel. We are streaming the PS5 event, which is going to be fire. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe and comment, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.